Do you feel like your dog is a little on edge? Do you think he or she could be happier if they weren't always so anxious? Well, canine anxiety is actually more common than you think, and here to help us resolve the issue, we have certified dog behavioral consultant Emily Scott. Emily, great to see you.
Hi, Steph. How are you?
Good. This is such a great topic because I feel like so many dogs that I meet are a little anxious.
A lot of them can be. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, that's a big part of my business is working with dogs that have generalized or a specific targeted anxiety. So I thought I'd talk first of all about the difference between anxiety and fear, because there's a big difference, and I think a lot of pet owners interchange those two terms, but it's a really important distinction. So fear in dogs is basically a specific trigger that elicits fear in the dog, like a man with a hat and a beard, with a puppy that walks up. And so it's a startled response, a fear response to a stimuli. So it's happening in the moment, okay? And the dog can react either by freezing or running away or showing aggression, okay? That's very different than anxiety. Anxiety, just like in humans, is a perceived anticipation, an anticipation of future events that create anxiety. So in dogs, most commonly it is fear or noise phobia. So the dog, hears the thunderstorm or even sees the clouds come and they start to get anxious. They feel the barometer drop and they know a storm is coming. So they're anxious about the future storm that's coming and the sounds that scares them. So they're worrying about it before the event. So it's all about the future, whereas fear is based in the moment I see something I'm afraid of.
Why is it dogs so much that have this anxiety? Is it because they love their owners, they're protective?
Well, there's so many reasons for it, but the most important thing to understand is that dogs, just like humans, can suffer from anxiety, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that the dog was poorly bred, or that it has some sort of screw loose. Just like with humans, if they have, a natural proclivity for noise sensitivity, and then all of a sudden there's a huge backfire of a car, that can create anxiety in a dog. That now all of a sudden these noises are terrifying, and they start to predict that the noise means something, and the noise is coming. The other big one we see is separation anxiety. That dogs anticipate that their owner's going to leave because they see them pick up their keys, put on their shoes, and then they start having a panic attack.
And they know when you're packing your suitcase, they know.
They know it's coming, and it starts this horrible anxiety that's very difficult to manage. And the unfortunate thing is that when the dogs exhibit the anxiety symptoms like barking or inappropriate elimination or destructive chewing, the owners tend to just get really upset at the behavior instead of addressing the anxiety.
Okay, so what do we do?
Well, first and foremost, it's really important to understand what the trigger is, what is causing the anxiety, and to note that it is anxiety. Some anxiety is very mild. They'll just do maybe yawning or stretching or just avoidance behaviors. Those can be anxiety. And then, of course, you get the severe anxiety where they're actually shaking and trembling and drooling and vomiting and really having a horrible panic attack. So there's a whole spectrum. And depending on how severe that anxiety is how you address it. So for mild anxiety, I've got some examples here of some stuff for mild anxiety. One thing that I often recommend is a product called Adaptil. It's a calming collar. So it actually is infused with a pheromone that has been synthesized into the collar, and the dog just wears it around their neck like a flea collar for 30 days, and it just emits a pheromone that can calm dogs down. It just helps take the edge off.
That's awesome. So maybe if you know you're going on a big trip, pick this up and get your dog used to wearing it.
And they can get more comfortable riding in a car, they can get more comfortable just being in a strange environment. So it can be very helpful for dogs with mild anxiety. I've also had some really great success with the Thunder Shirt. I'm sure people have seen commercials for this. It's a little wrap that you put around the dog. This concept is like swaddling a baby. You just wrap them tightly in this little jacket, and the swaddling being in this tight little jacket can help with mild anxiety. So my previous dog really did well with this before thunderstorms. I put him in the Thunder Shirt, and he was still nervous, but not nearly as upset.
Wonderful. And how about this?
And then these in the store, you'll find them. They are they call them composure treats or calming treats, and they usually have some sort of formulation like L-theanine, which is a green tea extract, or thiamine, vitamin B, and some of these natural herbs and so forth have been shown to help some dogs with mild anxiety. And again, these can be used together, or just try one and see if it might work. But if your dog is showing really severe, moderate to severe anxiety, where they're not able to take treats, you're not able to relax them at all, and they're really upset, then it's really worthwhile to talk to your vet.
Well, thank you so much, Emily. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but stay with us, everybody. MedWatch Today is airing right now. Take care.